We look at massive glaciers, staggering mountains, and plains dotted with wild animals, and the travel industry sells them all to us using the exact same generic language. Everything is labeled breathtaking, awe-inspiring, and beautiful. But treating vastly different environments as interchangeable vacation spots is a quick way to drain your bank account, or worse, place yourself in genuine physical danger. This comparison matrix shows the stark contrast between two famous destinations. On the left, Mount Everest sits high in cost and high in risk. On the right, the Maldives matches that high financial cost, but demands zero physical exertion. Look at the rows for physical effort and risk. Completing a climb on Everest means fighting altitude sickness, unpredictable winds, and relying heavily on teams of Sherpas. Experiencing the Maldives means paying for designer accommodations and ordering a cocktail on a tropical beach. That is why we are abandoning the traditional 1 to 25 countdown. Instead, we are categorizing these natural wonders by the actual, real-world inputs they demand from you. A successful trip comes down to matching your personal logistics, budget, and physical bandwidth to the reality on the ground. This quadrant chart plots the logistical and physical friction required to reach a destination against the sheer visual reward. Up here in the extreme top right, we plot Mount Everest, Antarctica, and Angel Falls. These places define high-friction travel. Reaching them requires specialized transport, complex planning, and serious physical endurance. Take Mount Everest. You have to navigate harsh, barren terrain on foot, relying entirely on professional guides while exposing yourself to altitude sickness. Angel Falls presents a different obstacle. Located deep inside Venezuela's Caima National Park, its near-vertical cliff faces make it exceptionally difficult to access. Antarctica is the coldest, driest continent on the planet. Surviving a visit means relying on specialized, ice-rated maritime vessels to break through the frozen ocean. These places offer isolated, untouched environments. The trade-off is high discomfort and a real chance your trip fails due to weather or physical limits. If you are a casual tourist, these should not be on your itinerary. Updating the chart, we look at the top left quadrant. High visual reward, but low physical friction. This is where we find the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, Victoria Falls, and Banff National Park. These are the infrastructure giants. The primary input here is navigating advanced booking systems and relying on massive, established safety nets. At Yellowstone, immense natural hazards like boiling hot springs and erupting geysers can be safely observed directly from paved pathways and massive parking lots. The Grand Canyon operates on the same logic. Look down a 1-mile drop safely from an engineered lookout point, completely removed from the rugged terrain. Even Victoria Falls, the largest waterfall on Earth, features safe viewing ledges built into the opposing cliffs, allowing crowds to experience the deafening roar without risk. The unavoidable cost of this safety and convenience is the complete loss of wilderness solitude. These giants work well for pragmatists who want guaranteed world-class views. You just have to accept sharing the path with millions of other visitors. Moving to the bottom left of our chart, we find destinations like the Maldives, Halong Bay, and Pamukkale. Here, friction is virtually eliminated, provided you have the budget. Financial capital replaces exertion entirely. You pay to secure private access, high-end accommodations, and dedicated staff. In the Maldives, you can sleep in an underwater or overwater villa, watching schools of tropical fish drift by without ever leaving your room. In Vietnam, you can charter an overnight boat to navigate the thousands of limestone karsts of Halong Bay, letting a crew handle all the navigational logistics while you take in the scenery. These experiences isolate you from the raw, unpredictable elements of nature, creating a highly sterilized environment. If your primary goal is absolute rest and you have the capital to bypass logistical stress, these curated options are your best investment. The final category shifts away from static geography entirely. These destinations are defined by fleeting moments in time. Witnessing the Serengeti migration requires intersecting with over 1 million wildebeest and zebras sprinting across a savanna on a 300-mile round trip. Tracking them safely demands specialized, reinforced safari vehicles and experienced local guides who understand the animals' movements. Similarly, the mirror-like reflections on Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni only happen during the rainy season. Seeing the northern lights requires long, cloudless winter nights aligned with high solar activity. The trade-off is a lack of guarantees. If the rains fail or the sky clouds over, your investment yields absolutely nothing. These trips are for opportunists who accept a high probability of failure in exchange for a shot at a rare, unrepeatable natural event. This decision tree flowchart maps your current life stage and available resources directly to the right destination category. If you have limited time off, need a guaranteed visual return, and are traveling with a family, follow this path down to the infrastructure giants like the Grand Canyon. If you view travel as an endurance sport and seek isolation at any cost, take the physical challenge route toward the high-friction extremes like Mount Everest. If you have a high budget and simply want maximum comfort and relaxation, the path leads you to curated luxuries like the Maldives. And if you are willing to risk bad weather to chase a singular phenomenon, follow this branch down to the temporal gambles, like the Serengeti. Erase the idea that there is an objective number one place you have to see before you die. Respect your physical limits, calculate the real-world costs of access, and let your actual data dictate your next investment in the natural world.